So we move on to the third of the types, and this is the first non-energy type. So manifestors and generators are both energy types. Projectors and reflectors are the two non-energy types. So projectors are roughly 21% of the population. There are three different types of projector. The one thing they all have in common is none of them have a defined sacral. There's the mental projector, which only has the head or the ajna connected, but nothing below the throat in their design. Then you have the energy projectors. So energy projectors have a motor not connected to the throat. Obviously, if it was connected to the throat, they would become a manifestor. And finally, the classic projector that has no motors in their definition. So they all operate in slightly different ways, but fundamentally, their strategy is to wait for the invitation. So this is quite interesting because, again, you know, back to what we talked about with the generators and the manifestors, our society tends to make people feel that they have to initiate what's going on. And so for projectors, the big fear for them is nobody's going to notice them. They're not going to be seen. They're not going to be recognized for their skills. So as a result of that, if they try to force themselves onto people or into situations rather than waiting for the invitation, the rejection that they get is likely to cause bitterness because it makes them feel like they're not good enough. So if you look at this from a child's perspective, as children, if you're a parent who has a projector, you're likely to go somewhere where there's children playing in a playground and keep saying to your child, go and play with those children, go and join in, go and do things. And that's completely against their strategy. Actually, what they're really here to do is to wait for the other children to notice them and invite them to go and play with them. And actually, they may not go the first time they're invited. They may wait until they're invited the second time, and then they can get involved because now they know they've been seen, and therefore they can get involved without feeling bitter. And what they're looking for is success. They just want people to recognize them for who and what they are and not feel that they have to project who and what they are on people in order to get noticed. And really what these people are great for is actually providing advice, particularly to the energy types, on how they use their energy. So for example, many generators are using energy all of the time because they have an almost limitless supply of it. Doesn't mean they're doing the right things. They could be busy doing nothing and still be using their energy. Whereas if a projector gets involved with a generator, what they can start to do is to help the generator to use their energy in a more effective way. So they make great advisors and coaches as long as they wait to be invited for their advice. If they start going and projecting their advice on other people unwanted or not asked for, then they're likely to get pushback and resistance from the people, and therefore will feel that these people don't recognize them for their ability to see that they're wasting their energy, and so they become very bitter because they're not being listened to, they're not being taken seriously. So I have a friend who's a projector, and she tells a lovely story about she worked for a very large organisation and she's attractive and she's blonde and she's quite petite, and she had a sparkly phone case, and she was actually the PA to the CEO of a huge corporation, and yet she wasn't taken seriously because of the way she looked, and that was hugely upsetting for her. And actually, you know, that was one of the reasons she left the business, was because she got so bitter about not being recognized for her true abilities. Now she's running her own business, and she is actually an advisor, and she's helping people with celiac disease and various other things where they are asking for her help, and she's got the experience and the knowledge, and she's being recognized by the people that she's helping and supporting for having that, and that's what's driving her success. So for projectors, they will very well end up running things in the New World Order because they can see the resources that the two energy types have, and they can help them to husband and use those resources in a much more effective way. And again, because there are three different types of projector, the only real way to find out what it is you're waiting to be invited to do and where your expertise is to have your chart read professionally. And to give you some examples of some famous projectors, Queen Elizabeth II was a projector, as was Princess Diana as well, and John F. Kennedy. So lots of people there you can see where they were in public life, they were recognised for some of their skills, and they were always waiting for the invitation and being recognised for who they were.